Hello and welcome. As a hotel AI expert, I've had a front row seat to what makes the best hotels tick. And one pattern is absolutely clear. The most successful ones don't just train their staff, they build a real legacy of learning. I'm so excited to guide you, the students of Europe Hotel School, on this journey. Together, we're going to break down exactly how to create a powerful learning strategy, a skill that will truly define your leadership in this industry. Okay, let's dive right in. In our fast-paced world, it is so easy to fall into the trap of quick-fix training. But as this slide says, that's really just patching holes in a ship. A long-term strategy, on the other hand, doesn't just fix today's problems. It builds a crew that can navigate any storm that comes their way. And that's the huge shift, right? Moving from reactive training to proactively creating a truly resilient workforce. So, the big question is, how do we start building this resilient workforce? Well, it all starts with one core idea: alignment. This means we have to stop treating learning like a series of separate, disconnected workshops and start seeing it for what it really is: a core capability, a strategic engine that powers the entire hotel's vision. And you know what? This is where the magic really happens. When every single learning initiative you launch is directly tied to your biggest goals, like unbelievable service excellence or game-changing innovation, training completely transforms. It stops being just another cost on a spreadsheet. Instead, it becomes the engine driving your competitive advantage, the very thing that makes you stand out from the crowd. This slide here really lays out the pathway for us. And don't just think of it as a list. It's more like a cause and effect chain reaction. It all has to start with a crystal clear vision. Without that, honestly, your training is just aimless. But once that vision is set, you can design learning specifically to serve it. And the result? It's not just a better trained team. It's a measurable, sustainable edge over your competition. All right, let's keep building on this. A powerful vision is absolutely essential, but it needs a solid foundation to stand on, right? So now we're going to look at the 3 foundational pillars that make sure your learning strategy is not just effective, but also resilient and built to last. So our first pillar is sustainability. Now, what does that really mean? It's about building a system that can outlast any single manager, any market trend, or any group of new hires. It's about creating a documented, standardized framework so that your culture of excellence doesn't just walk out the door when a key leader does. It becomes the institutional memory of your whole organization. Our second pillar is leadership involvement. And let me tell you, you just can't overstate how important this is. When leaders actively champion learning, they're doing so much more than just giving it a stamp of approval. They give it credibility, they create real momentum, and they send a powerful signal to the entire organization that development is a top priority. This is how you build a true, authentic culture of learning. And for our final pillar, data-driven planning, the key here is simple: stop guessing and start knowing. By using hard data, everything from performance metrics to guest feedback, you can invest your training resources exactly where they'll have the biggest impact. Data makes sure your strategy isn't just efficient, it's surgically precise. Okay, so we've talked about the big picture vision and the solid structure that holds it all up. But let's be real, a strategy is just a document until it's brought to life by people. This next section is all about empowering that human engine of your organization, because without them, even the best laid plans are going to fall flat. And this is the key question, isn't it? I mean, you can have the perfect framework, the most supportive leaders, and all the best data in the world. But how do you actually bridge that gap between the plan on paper and a living, breathing culture of excellence in your hotel? Well, a huge part of the answer begins with adaptability. A long-term strategy isn't a rigid plan set in stone. It's more like a compass. The hospitality landscape is always shifting. New technologies, evolving guest demands, you know how it is. A truly powerful strategy has agility built right in. It's a system for continuous review that lets you pivot without ever losing sight of your true north. And this slide just lays out the impact of employee involvement so clearly. Look at the difference. On one side, you have a team that's just passively participating. The results are weak, and people are more likely to leave. But when your employees are truly engaged, when they feel a real sense of ownership over the learning process, the outcomes are dramatically better, and you build a more loyal, committed team. Engagement is the ultimate amplifier. So let's bring all of this together. When you align your strategy with your vision, when you build it on a resilient foundation, and when you empower your people to bring it all to life, you're doing so much more than just training. You are forging a legacy of enduring excellence. And this is the ultimate outcome. This is the real payoff. A powerful learning strategy does more than just fill skill gaps. It actually grows your future leaders from within. It creates a deeply engaged team that provides superior service. At the end of the day, it ensures your organization isn't just competing today, but is built to lead the industry for decades to come. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this question. As the future leaders of this industry, you are going to be the architects of these very strategies. So really think about what we've talked about today. What is the very first concrete step you can take in your future role, or maybe even right now, to begin building that legacy of learning? Because that right there, that's where the journey to excellence truly begins.